Hi, and welcome to Roaming Smiles Travel. And we are here today to talk about our trip to Walt Disney World in Orlando in April of 2026. We decided to go for our daughter Leah's 10th birthday. And in order to plan this trip, we reached out to one of my friends, Jesse, who works at Pixie Magic Planners, to help us plan everything that we were doing for this trip. I'm joined today by my wife, Lynn. For planning our trip, we decided to do lightning lanes, the multi-option. We didn't do the single rider one because my daughter has a FOXP1 syndrome diagnosis and ADHD, so she had qualified for DAS. So we were able to use that to go on the single rider rides, so we didn't have to pay the extra for that, but we wanted to do the multi-rider to make sure that we were able to do certain rides. If she got nervous and didn't want to go on them, the rest of us could still go on, because when you have DAS, the person who has the DAS diagnosis has to go on each of those rides. So we also did the Disney dining plan. When we booked, it was if kids were 9 or under, they were free on the dining plan. So we had to pay for the 2 adults, but not the kids. And we did the one with table service. So that let us have 1 table service meal, 1 quick service meal, and 1 or 2 snacks a day included in our plan. And so day 2 for us was the Animal Kingdom. Now, we had only planned to go to Animal Kingdom for about half the day because there just aren't a ton of rides there. We weren't interested in that many shows. So we didn't do rope drop because rope drop would have been getting there by 7 a.m. because the park opened at 8. The rides start at 7:30 and you can go in at 7. So we were not doing that. That was
not after the day we had.
Not after Hollywood Studios the day before. So we probably got there around 8:15. We're able to walk right in, no issue there. And we had the safari as our first ride of the day. So we had done Lightning Lane for the safari, for the Navi River Journey, and for the Expedition Everest.
Mm-hmm.
So we had those 3 lined up for our lightning lanes. And then we did the safari first, which the kids were real excited about.
Zach is very into zoos and animals, and he was most excited, I would say, about Animal Kingdom and being able to do the safari, but they both loved the safari. There were so many animals there. It's an animal reserve, so you get to see real animals on basically like a real safari. You know, we saw elephants, giraffes, rhinos, you know, all kinds of different birds. It was definitely a highlight, especially for Zach. You know, he said it's, you know, his favorite or one of his favorite rides at Animal Kingdom.
And then from there, we went over to do the Avatar rides. So in Animal Kingdom, the one I was most excited about was Flight of Passage. I had heard it was really good. It's one of the newer rides. I was real excited for that. We had tried to get the kids to watch some of Avatar just so they had an idea of what was going on. They probably made it 45 minutes, if that, and they weren't into it. So we didn't push that one, but we tried. And so we did the Navi River Journey first, mm-hmm. and we did a DAS pass for Flight of Passage. Leah had said she would do it, so we were like, okay, let's do it. Let's do this early before she gets too nervous or starts to say no to things. So we did the Navi River Journey. It's one of those calm floating rides. It's kind of like It's a Small World, but without the singing. So you're just kind of floating along. You're in the dark. It's nice and cool.
It's got the beautiful, sort of colorful flowers and what you would think. What you would think in Avatar. It's a very beautiful ride, and it's very calm and peaceful. So it was a nice ride, and it was an easy ride.
And again, it was hot when we were there, mm-hmm. so it was 90 degrees. So we were we were excited to go on a ride like that, even though it was our second ride of the day and it was early in the day. It was a nice, cool, relaxing break. From there, we were able to do Flight of Passage, which was my favorite ride. So of all of Disney World, I just thought it was awesome. I'd never been on anything like it. You're kind of sitting on what is like a saddle or like kind of like a motorcycle type thing, and it's a giant screen in front of you. You're wearing these like 3D glasses, and you're just flying along as if you're on one of the bird type things in Avatar. Now, my daughter, who has the sensory issues and also has issues with birds and things like that, while she loved the first probably 2 minutes of the ride, at one point, a giant bird drops down on top of you and is like chasing you. And that was when she started panicking a little bit. Yeah. She made it through the ride, and okay. she was fine, but she did not enjoy that part of it.
I don't think she'd do it again. We all really enjoyed it, the rest of us.
Zach had no problem. Yeah. You know, 7-year-old boy it was in his wheelhouse.
Yeah. No, it was a really good ride. It was tricky for Leah, but she got through it. She probably wouldn't do it again. But again, we had prepped her beforehand, and, you know, she likes scary rides. It's just when things sort of fly in front of her, or, you know, bursts of air, or things just
like we did
take
the
her by
Bug's Life.
Surprise.
We did It's a Bug's Life later in the Tree of Life, and she hated that.
And that was a very relaxing.
Or no, it's Zootopia now. It used to be it.
She gets scared when there's sort of bursts of air in your face. Anything that's sensory. It's not something that's enjoyable for her. She doesn't like the shock of something just in her face, or it just, and you know, and everyone kind of feels that way sometimes. But it's not for her. She doesn't like sudden loud noises. She doesn't like sudden bursts of air. She doesn't like sudden things flying in her face. And we can respect that.
And so from there, we had brought snacks, so everybody kind of had a little snack after that. We were going to Everest next. Mm-hmm. Leah decided she was not going to do Everest. Mm-hmm. She had seen a video about it, and she saw that it goes backwards, and she did not want to do a ride that goes backwards. So because she went on Flight of Passage, we let it go. I didn't go on it, so that's pretty much the only ride I didn't go on that I wanted to go on. But it was okay. We were fine doing that. So we waited and watched the ride while Lynn and Zach went on Expedition Everest.
We loved it.
On our walk over there, though, the Birds of a Feather, or whatever that show is that goes on, they had the birds flying around, and Leah was not a fan of that. So the walk from Avatar all the way over to where Expedition Everest was, she was very nervous. She was looking around like her head was on a swivel. But we got over there. And so then you guys went on Expedition Everest.
We went on Everest. We loved it. It was cool. We knew what to expect. We had seen, you know, other people's YouTube videos about it. You know, it goes fast, as if you're on Everest and there's a Yeti. It's as if the Yeti ate the track toward the top, and so you have to go backwards. So it kind of just goes back the way you came, but fast and crazy, and it's a really cool ride. We really loved it. It was scary, but it was cool, and yeah, very enjoyable, cool ride.
And then from there, we did some of the walkthrough areas. There's like a gorilla walkthrough.
The birds.
There's a bird.
Which Leah did not do.
She did not like that
but
one.
I went in with Zach. Like I said, he loves animals. He loves birds. So they give you a little handout that you give back at the end that shows you all the birds you might see. So we did that. And we were able to see various kinds of birds. It's cool, especially if you're an animal lover, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, going into Disney, Zach was most excited for Animal Kingdom, and I think he really enjoyed it. And then we got the Mickey ice creams while we were there. So they have the ice cream, on a stick that everybody talks about. But the one I liked better was there's a Mickey that's like a cookies and cream one that I thought was way better. So that was one of the snacks we got while we were there. And then we finished off with that Zootopia. In I think we left probably around like 12:30 or 1. We didn't end up eating any quick service meals there. We went back to the hotel, went to the pool for a little while, and then we ended up having quick service meals at the Polynesian, right?
Yeah, we went to, what is it, Captain Cook's?
Yeah.
At the Polynesian. So we got, and I forget now what we even got.
Well, we got the buffalo chicken. That was
we
very
split some
hot.
stuff. We got nachos. We got like a pulled pork nacho.
Yeah.
And it was some kind of, not buffalo, but some kind of hot
spicy chicken.
And
we're kind of wimps when it comes to that, so it was a little too hot for us, but we ate it. We made it through.
And the kids got probably some kind of chicken tender.
Yeah.
And then, highlight for me always, the Polynesian has a Dole Whip station. So I was able to get my Dole Whip, which was great. Love a Dole Whip. I'm the one who loves Dole Whip in the family. And so, we were able to take the monorail a couple stops down to the Polynesian, which was cool because it's right there, and have dinner that night. So it was just, a more relaxing day on day 2 than the first day. Half day at the park, explored the Polynesian, took a dip in the pool, and then kind of went to bed early because we were going to be doing Epcot the next day.
Yep. And so Zach, when we went to Animal Kingdom, what was your favorite ride at Animal Kingdom?
My favorite ride at Animal Kingdom was
the safari, Everest.
The safari and Everest.
Yeah. Leah, what was your favorite ride at Animal Kingdom?
I have one safari.
You like the safari?
Mm-hmm.
Was there any other rides you guys liked or didn't like there?
Wait.
No,
Daddy,
that's it.
Daddy, what other rides are at Animal Kingdom?
So there was Avatar's Flight of Passage. There was the Kali River Rapids.
Oh, I like the Colorado River Rapids.
You like the Kali River Rapids?
I have 2 more.
Wait, is it?
I have 2 more.
Oh.
I have 2
Is
more.
it on the bus?
Yeah.
I liked the Collie River Rapids because I got to cool off, and I liked Flight of Passage.
Okay. So honestly, we had a great experience. We couldn't have done it without our friend Jessie at Pixie Magic Planners. She did a great job, steering us in the right direction, telling us which rides to do in what order, making sure that we were able to see and do everything that we wanted to do. And
allow you at Disney World resorts to order in Amazon Fresh. So we were able to get breakfast. We had breakfast every morning before we went to the park. So that saved us from having to get extra dining meals. So we were able to use our quick service on like lunches and actual snacks in the parks. But our breakfast, I got oat milk to go with my coffee, for example, and we kept that in the room. We had a little mini fridge. We got
yogurts.
We got yogurts. We got cereal bars, things that we felt that we would eat for breakfast, and also just snacks that they let you bring snacks into the park. So we got a bunch of boxes of goldfish and various Cheez-Its, all the things that our kids and your kids would want to eat when you're in the park, and they're hungry, cheese crackers and various things like that. So it was really convenient, and it helped us kind of save. We used the dining plan options for the things we really wanted to eat at the park, and we didn't feel like we needed to waste dining credits on things that were unnecessary, like breakfast, which we could easily just eat in the room.
A lot of these tips and tricks that we're telling you, we learned from our friend Jessie at Pixie Magic Planners. So I highly suggest you use either her company or someone else's company if if you're going to Disney, they really do know a lot about what's going on, and they're free for us to use because Disney pays them. So if you're ever hesitant, I wouldn't be. So some other things we did to before we got to Disney was we were checking the forecast, and it was going to be 90 degrees almost every day we were there. So really, really hot. So some of the things that we had learned was that Disney, all of their quick service establishments has water that they will just give out. So you don't have to buy water bottles. So if you bring a refillable water bottle with you, they will give you cups of ice water, and you can pour it into your water bottle. So don't think when you're going to Disney that you're going to have to spend all this money on, Dasani water or
Right.
whatever they sell there.
Yeah, there's water filling stations at various areas throughout the park, but the quick service will also give you cups of water if you ask. They're very understanding about that. Nobody questions you. They don't want anybody to be dehydrated at the park, and we weren't. We drank plenty of water. We brought Gatorade. We brought a couple water bottles, but they will give you cups of water. Very, very easy going about that, which is great.
And we were planning to be there all day, every day when we went. So our goal, we had heard people talk about how many steps they take at Disney, and people were saying 20,000 steps, 25,000 steps. So I think we averaged about 17 or 18,000. We didn't bring a stroller for the kids.
No.
They walked the whole way. So we wanted them to be comfortable too. So we bought socks for everybody, some new moisture wicking socks. I don't know if it made a difference, but we didn't have any complaints.
Yeah.
So we definitely did that. Some other things we bought to go on this trip was like a battery backup for our phones, because you're on your phone so much. The battery dies quicker. And so we bought these battery backups, one for me, one for Lynn, that we were able to use to keep our phone charged throughout the day where we're taking pictures, taking videos, just checking into rides using Lightning Lane and DAS and all of that.
You
just
do not
on
want
your
your
phone a
phone
lot.
to die. And we were at Hollywood, for example, for somewhere around 14 hours. We rope dropped Hollywood and we stayed through Fantasmic. So that's a long day on your phone. So it was definitely worthwhile to have a battery pack to be able to, I think I charged my phone while we were at dinner in Hollywood and got an extra maybe 25% battery life to get through the rest of the day. So it was key to have something like that.
And then to bring snacks, water bottles, battery backups. We each brought a backpack. So I had kind of a bigger backpack because I had sunscreen in it, change of clothes, snacks, the water bottles. But Lynn got this little backpack that we could show you.
Yes, North Face Borealis Mini. It's amazing. It fits so much stuff. It's hard to tell here, but it's little, but it's got a lot of space in there, and it's got comfortable straps. Because I know some backpacks or even just strap, purses, if they're heavy and they're filled with things that you need for the day, it's going to hurt your shoulder. It's going to hurt your back. This was very comfortable to just walk around with all day and hold all the things that I needed instead of a purse.
Or a fanny pack.
Or something like that. But it was easy to just put at my feet on rides. It wasn't too big or unwieldy. So definitely recommend something like that. Whether, you do something like this, a little backpack or like a cross strap bag, to be able to fit what you need when you're in the park.
And really the only ride that we couldn't take it on with us was Tron.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave you a locker for you to put it in.
Yeah.
Every other ride, you either put it at your feet or there was a spot for you to put it behind you, like Flight of Passage, I think, had one of those.
Flight of Passage, we couldn't have it like right next to us on the ride, but there were little cubbies right behind where we were. So we were able to just put our bags in there.
So it really wasn't an issue having a backpack. I know we were worried going in, like, what are we going to do with the bag? Because the last time we were at Disney, we had a stroller, so we just leave everything on the stroller.
Most rides have a little you know, a little thing where you can put your stuff in. But we were able to just keep them at our feet, and they were fine.
And so it was really a great trip.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it. If you're thinking of going, if you have, you know, a daughter that has a disability, I think Disney does a great job with that. The bathrooms are always clean. Everything's, you know, great. It's easy to get food and water.
The cast members are so helpful. I cannot say enough good things about everybody that we encountered at Disney who worked there. From the people who are cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning your rooms, the bellhops at the hotel was super informative. Waiters, you know, servers at your restaurants and quick services obviously will give you water at the drop of a hat. You know, everybody will help you if you're looking for assistance getting around the park. Like, they're there for you. They just, you know, it'll cost you some money to go to Disney, but they make it worth it, and they know it's an experience, and they make it a good experience. So we cannot say enough good things about Disney.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, and please, you know, like and subscribe if you do, and we'll try and do some more videos about our adventures that we've had going forward. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.